big question right now is, what is XRP and what is the big deal about it? And I know a lot of people are resistant to it who don't understand what's happening.
The XRP was needed because we needed to move into the 21st century. XRP, the bridge currency to the world, XRP could be scalable to trillions of transactions per second.
XRP is the platform that the banking system is going to be using. When I asked St. Germain about specifically about XRP and if it was time for me to invest in it, he said yes. And then he said, because again, I don't know anything about the technology, he said XRP is the platform that the banking system is going to be using.
What else you want to know? But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is without question the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, t-shirts, you got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail, and we'll get you as much as you want. Gold and silver. Welcome to CarminesGold.com. Don't waste not even a second looking. Cheaper prices just don't exist. How important is it for you to own gold and silver right now? What does it mean to me personally? There's an economy that's about to crash beyond what words can explain. In 5 words, I'm going to educate you on gold and silver. Are you ready? You need to own some. Simple.
Okay, everybody. So great to see you all here on the new show, Question Everything. And today I have on my good friend, Mel Carmine. Mel and I are going to be talking about XRP and what it is. You know, on this show, Question Everything, it's really about, well, questioning everything. So the big question right now is, what is XRP and what is the big deal about it? And why is it suddenly the next best thing to sliced toast? Because now I met Mel a couple of years ago and he was telling me about XRP, and I'm just, crypto just didn't resonate with me. And then I got the big bang hit about 2 weeks ago that it was time to invest in XRP. And I'm so glad I did, because I invested in it just before it hit this bull run. And everything I've been saying about XRP is that it is going to explode. And so I'm bringing Mel in to talk about what XRP is, why it's different from other crypto, and why it's a good idea to invest in it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to protect your crypto, because you buy it and there are a lot of scams out there. And I personally got scammed with through a Bitcoin scam. And I have friends who have been scammed through different types of crypto. So we're going to talk about how to protect your crypto as well. If you're going to invest in it, then you got to protect yourself. So Mel, take it away. Tell us about XRP and why it's different from other cryptos, and maybe even touch on a little bit about blockchain, because that's what I know the really big deal is. I started hearing about 15 years ago. I don't quite know how that works.
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, I'm honored and humbled, and thank you, thank you. I'll tell you, first of all, we want to mention the fact that she's going to be at the Quantum Summit as one of our MCs, and that is going to be amazing, because we do expect a lot of people, especially if the XRP price prediction, the Mel Carmine prediction. I never put a number and I never put a date except for this one time, and I've been saying it all along, and it's starting to show that that's where it wants to go prior to the inauguration. Whether the inauguration happens or it doesn't happen, we don't know what's going to happen on the 19th. I know there's going to be a big rally with Donald Trump. Man, there is so many moving parts that it can make you dizzy. And I can understand how a lot of people who are up in age, who are trying to get in the space, and they realize this is going to be a ship that I don't want to miss, but yet is very technical in nature. Is there going to be a time where it's going to be very simple, where it's going to be the blockchain attached to your debit card, and there'll be four banks that survive this entire thing, and your digital assets are sitting in a bank, and it's going to have tremendous security around it, whether it's a eye retina scan, a thumbprint, and maybe a text message to your phone to make sure it's you before you're logged into your account? Yes, yes, and yes. However, going back in time, 1972, when they created this thing called the SWIFT system, which is so antiquated and it needed to be revamped. So Ripple, the company, Ripple would, if Ripple went away, XRP survives just fine. Ripple is just a company that has this native token called XRP. But the XRP was needed because we needed to move into the 21st century, and we're moving into this era of moving, potentially quadrillions, hundreds of quadrillions of dollars on a yearly basis, 50 to 100 quadrillion for sure. You're not going to do that on a Swift system.
The upcoming Quantum Summit represents a convergence of advanced scientific, technological, and socio-economic paradigms aimed at addressing some of the most pressing and transformative issues of our time. The topics, curated to spark intellectual and practical innovation, include next-generation digital finance systems, examination of digital assets like XRP, XLM, XDC, and their alignment with the ISO 222 standard for interoperability and global financial integration. The emergence of gold-backed Basel-compliant tokens, setting a new precedent for asset-backed financial instruments. Discussion of the role of XRP as a potential stablecoin, RLUSD, and its implications of redefining real USD stability, currency reevaluation, and sound money principles. Insights into potential reevaluation of legacy currencies such as the Iraqi dinar, Vietnamese dong, and Zimbabwe dollar. Advocacy for a gold-backed monetary system and the reintroduction of sound money to stabilize global economies. This summit promises a rare opportunity to engage with groundbreaking ideas, cutting-edge technologies, and visionary thought leaders. Attendees will leave with unparalleled insights and actionable knowledge, making this event as a pivotal milestone in the journey towards a sustainable, equitable, and enlightened future. Prepare for discussions that challenge conventional narratives and illuminate the path to systemic global transformation.
It's antiquated. It's old. It's a dinosaur. It should have been put away 15, 20 years ago, to be quite frank. So people are sending money through a system that you have, 5 or 6 intermediaries. If you do everything correctly and the money lands on the other side, it may take 3, 4 days sometimes, and they charge you all these fees to get the money. When with XRP, the bridge currency to the world, if you go in, for example, and punch in Google and put in digital bridge currency, XRP comes up. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's nobody. It's only XRP. Okay. And you could punch that ad nauseum in Google until the cows come home. You're going to continuously get the same answer. So basically, Satoshi Nakamoto, I always love to tell the story because it's a fascinating story because it's so plausible that you can almost take it to the bank and they'll give you interest on it, right? Satoshi Nakamoto, aka David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple today, goes and puts a patent on blockchain technology in 1988. You fast forward to year 2000, he goes to do some consulting work for DARPA. In DARPA, what happens in 2007, 2008, the housing bubble. And then once that housing bubble came down in 2009, Bitcoin was born. Bitcoin was just a test, a download to see if he could, create a monetary system, which obviously he could. But Bitcoin is like a Motorola brick phone. Who uses the Motorola brick phone today? How about nobody, right? So it's a dinosaur, but it was just a test to see if he could do it. Who's the only guy that can go back and fix Bitcoin? Satoshi Nakamoto, aka David Schwartz. And with that, within months later, literally a couple months later, comes out what? XRP, which used to be called OneCoin, right? XRP could be scalable to trillions of transactions per second. If you go to YouTube and punch in XRP, trillions of transactions per second, a video pops up by, I believe, Moon Lambo, who talks about an individual by the name of Odor. Who's Odor? Odor is this elusive guy who comes and goes. We believe that he sat on the board of Ripple, allowed to come out and put breadcrumbs out there so that the people who know how to connect the breadcrumbs can wake up. I happen to be one of those people that woke up. And I've been preaching it for 9 years. So here we are. So we have a system that could be amped up to 3.5 trillion transactions per second. It talks about that in Odor's articles in the blogs, and he's one of the most prolific writers that we ever encountered in this movement of this cryptocurrency, digital assets, as I like to call it. And you may want to go back and read some of his stuff, because a lot of the stuff he wrote 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, when I got into the space, is the stuff that's happening right now. You can't deny that that's what it is. So pretty profound stuff. So we got bit by the bug. I was a Bitcoin guy. Short story is my wife was bugging me. We got to do the XRP. XRP is where it's at. XRP is the one. And I just said, go buy $50 worth. Leave me the hell alone. She bought $50 worth. She bought 12,500 XRP for $50. And then she said, big boy, you got to sit down and watch the videos. And she got me to sit down and watch the videos, and I got literally, the lights went on in such a big way that I could not stop watching the videos. They could not produce them fast enough. I was watching them as fast as they were coming off the shelf, literally. And I said, she's right. And we started to invest with that. We invested, probably 49, 59 times. Who the hell knows? A lot of times. And we've accumulated an incredible bag. She's got her own bags, her own little secret bags. She calls the Federal Reserve. It's the family Federal Reserve that I don't know about. Because she likes to trade and does all that stuff that younger people. She's 20 years younger than me, right? Even though I look amazing for my age. So that's the short and skinny of it. What else you want to know?
Well, it's kind of interesting because as I said, I really never had any interest in crypto. When I tuned in and asked about Bitcoin, I was told, no, don't invest. And
Yeah.
in hindsight, would have been not such a bad idea back then. But especially because I've been traveling the last couple of years, and I just about, well, 4 days ago became really grounded in my new apartment in Fort Lauderdale, and I've signed a 1 year lease, so I'm definitely going to be here for a while. The guidance I get is the next 2 to 3 years. So I got here and I got settled in, and then I started hearing about XRP, that the federal investigation against Ripple had been lifted. That's the reason I didn't invest in XRP before, because I was like, why would I invest in something that's under investigation? And all the other cryptos that are out there, half of them are crap. Actually, probably most of them are crap. And I just didn't see the point. But then I think you sent me that article, or maybe it was April and Jay Mata, about how the investigation is complete. Ripple came out the winner of the investigation. So then I did a little tune in. As you know, I'm
Mm.
very telepathic and conscious channel. And so I had a conversation with Saint Germain, who is my go-to when it comes to anything financial on the planet. And so I asked him, I said, is this a good investment? And what was really surprising for me, because I know very little about crypto. In fact, I'm taking a crypto course this weekend because or not crypto, blockchain and crypto, because I want to know, I like knowing how things work in the background. So I'm taking this course from some friends of mine that have a program called Blockchain Academy, and they're going to teach me how blockchain works. And so I'm excited about that. But when I asked Saint Germain about specifically about XRP and if it was time for me to invest in it, he said yes. And then he said, because again, I don't know anything about the technology, he said XRP is the platform that the banking system is going to be using for basically all transactions. And so was really interesting about that too is one of my clients who took my class a couple of years ago, my transcendence class, and she worked for a bank. She was a big wig in one of the big five banks. And she said, Victoria, I don't understand what they're doing. They're changing everything to digital, and I have to go to all these training classes to learn how to use this new digital technology, and then I have to manage and train all these other people how to run this new digital technology. She says, I don't understand what's going on. And I said, well, what's happening is the banking system is changing from the old analog system, if you will, to this new digital system. But I didn't realize until I had this little download from Saint Germain that what it had been changed to is the Ripple technology. So the entire banking system is now going to be running off this Ripple XRP technology. So when Saint Germain explained that to me, I was like, yep, I'm all in. So
Yeah,
I
I
did.
wish a lot of people would have listened to me when it was 29 cents instead of $2.29 or $3.29, because you would have got a bigger bang for your buck, obviously. But, it doesn't make me better than anybody, but I saw the tea leaves. I said this has got tremendous potential. So I missed Amazon, I missed Google, I missed Apple, I missed investing in companies like Dell Computer. I missed pretty much Facebook. I missed it all. I missed Bitcoin. I knew about Bitcoin. I was literally watching the information coming from the internet saying this thing is coming. And when it came out, it was 000 and an eight. That's the number of a penny that you could buy 800 Bitcoins for $1. 800 Bitcoins for $1. You understand? I'm like, that was so foolish of me to come to think of it now. I mean, I spend more money on sushi. I go to an expensive sushi dinner. My wife and I will drop 300-400 bucks, and I didn't spend $100 on Bitcoin. I kicked myself in the ass. I mean, I thank the Lord that we have the actual final Bitcoin, which is going to be XRP. But I could have been done. I could have been retired on one of those links that I sent you earlier. And you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So
Bitcoin did make a lot of billionaires.
a lot of secret billionaires. There's a lot of people out there that know how to keep their mouths shut, and they're like, and I suspect one of those guys to be one of these podcasters that makes his circles around. One day, I won't mention who he is, but he's an anti XRP guy, and because of that, won't mention his name, won't give him any notoriety. But he slipped on Nino Rodriguez's show. He said, "I bought Bitcoin the very first day it came out." I said, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" Because I know the price. You see. So I said, well, then this bald-headed old man, okay, I'm giving you a hint who he is probably one of those billionaires we're talking about, providing he didn't sell it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, to imagine if taking $100, which is nothing, but yeah, I missed out
nothing.
on it.
It's nothing. It's a joke.
It would
It's a
have been an
joke.
easy investment.
Yeah, I got to tell you, we got to tell the people. Obviously, we might as well make the announcement. Okay, she is actually going to be one of my co-hosts as well. So we have Elisa Valentino, we have the very talented Victoria Reynolds coming to the table, and now we need one more person. Hopefully, it will be Colin O'Brien or somebody equally as talented. We'll see what Colin O'Brien's schedule brings to the table as far as him being able to fit it in. I only need one podcast a week, but what's her name? Valentino is so into this that she's like, I like this. I'm getting thousands of hits per video instead of a couple of hundred or maybe just in the single digits, right? So she's bit by the bug. But we want to build something that's dynamic over the next 2 or 3 years, based on the fact that we have a real leadership coming into play. The leadership that I believe is silently bringing in the quantum financial system with Nasara and Jasara, even though they're not talking about it. But if you look at everything they're talking about doing, sure has the same characteristics of Nasara Jasara, the document number 9 at QFS1776.com. Amazing stuff. I mean, who would have thought that we were going to wake up in 2025 and there's a potentiality, a very strong one at that the IRS is going to be gone, that the FTC, the SEC, all these illegal agencies, all these illegal corrupt agencies, the FBI is going to be revamped. We're going to throw out the trash and bring in some good people, condense it, make it into a real thing, right? Who would have thought that we would have actually, lived to see this?
Well, I did, but that's because I can see the future.
Right.
But what's really interesting is that I don't see dates and rates, unfortunately.
Mm.
But a lot of the things that are happening now, like you, I predicted 10, 15 years ago. And it is really exciting to finally see the things that, long before I knew you, the things that I was talking about 10, 15 years ago, very exciting to now see it starting to come into play. And I know a lot of people are resistant to it who don't understand what's happening. We were 15 years ago, we were saying 20 years ago, oh my gosh, longer than that, before my kids were born, I was saying the school system seriously needs to crumble and be recreated. And it was too bad that it didn't happen for my kids because now they're 19 and 22. But clear back then, I could see how all the systems needed to be recreated. I was talking about a flat sales tax instead of federal income tax 15 years ago, and everybody told me I was crazy. And it's really exciting to see that that's actually what's starting to happen. We are going to be recreating every system, not just in this country, but on Earth. And it's really extraordinary to be here at this time and see it happening.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if they gave us the money that they ripped us off on everything, every penny back, you would not need XRP, you wouldn't need Bitcoin, you wouldn't need Ethereum, you wouldn't need anything. You would need nothing because we're all supposedly wealthy, but somebody else has got our money, right? So I don't know to what extent Donald Trump is going to say, hey, there's going to have to be some restoration paid back here, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite know what his I don't even know if he knows what the plan is, because once he becomes president, he's going to have to get in there and really dig in a lot deeper than he was able to do his first round, digging into the systems and seeing where, because it is a mess. Our government systems are, it's a mess with the Federal Reserve and the relationship with the banks and our relationship with income taxes and the Federal Reserve, and how our income taxes actually aren't used for all the things that people think income taxes are used for. They're really just for bailing out the banking system. So I don't think he's going to know until he gets in with his team to just start literally like bringing out this buffet of how the systems have been structured, and then how can we restructure them in a way that they serve the masses instead of just serving the few at the top. The lawmakers, of course, are making the laws in a way that support them. So my hope is that that this team he's putting together actually does dive into, recreating all of our systems, because they need to be disassembled and put back together in a much more beneficial way for humanity. And perhaps that's, I don't like getting into politics because that's not my thing. But when I wrote my book Rise Up, there's a lot of stuff in there about Trump and about what my spiritual team says about him.
Mhm.
And because of the role that he's here to play, I think that's the reason that the other team, let's call it, dislikes him so much, because he's a wrecking ball.
Well, he wants to give us wealth beyond our wildest dreams. He wants to give us life extension beyond our wildest dreams. By the way, we have life extension technology, theoretically speaking, and figuratively speaking, and factually speaking. We have it laminated. As soon as you walk through Staying Alive at the doors, it's hanging on the wall on the left hand side. You're more than welcome to pick it up and read it for yourself, and call the independent lab in or what is it, Texas, and do your own blood work. Okay, somebody did blood work, and their telomeres grew by 23% in 1 month of sleeping in the system.
Is that system
23%.
that's the EE systems?
Yes, the telomeres went 23% longer
Wow.
in 1 month. What happens if you're sleeping there 2 months? What happens if you're sleeping there 3 months? Because I've been sleeping in there for a month and a half, on and off with some interruptions, minor interruptions. But I plan on sleeping there all the way until March 7th, prior to, if I glow in the dark, you'll know why. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
looking forward to meeting you in person. You and I've been friends for years on
yes. Well,
camera,
we met
but
in Chula Vista. The first
oh,
thing, yeah, down in when my first thing, unfortunately, with my partners didn't work out. Nice people, it just didn't work out. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. But so that's where we met the first time, and we're going to meet the second time. And now you're a Floridian, which means we'll probably get together a lot more often. I can't wait for you to come on board to be part of this venture that we foresee growing into potentially the millions, because I think Donald Trump, the hammer, is going to come down on censorship on all of social media in a way that they can't. As a matter of fact, we were talking earlier off, camera, and you were talking about how Zuckerberg is capitulating and scared to death, and basically said, "Sorry, they let me. They put a gun to my head, pretty much, short of saying that they forced me to do it, right?" And so it's fun to watch this because if you don't think the other owners of the other social medias are shitting their pants right now, you'd be making a mistake because Donald Trump ain't playing. Like him, dislike him, doesn't matter. This guy, he doesn't need your money, number one. He's very wealthy, number two. He's got all the toys, number three. And that's why the army, the 17th movement, went after him because they knew that he could not be what? Bought. And
Right.
because of that, I think we have the right leader in place. I think his kids are role models. Are they perfect? Nobody is perfect. If you're a human, you're not perfect. Donald Trump would be the first one to tell you he's not perfect. But here we are. It's going to be very interesting to see the next 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, and it really comes down to how much us, the digital soldiers, push our base out to motivate everybody to do something, to get off your ass and do something. Because it's not about Donald Trump doing everything, just relax and everything's gonna be hunky dory. No, 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 no. The plan includes you. Okay. So get your ass off your seat and do something. Find out what you're good at and do it. Right. So that's what we're doing. That's what we have to do. We have to figure out as leaders to basically move the troops in the right. It's like herding cats, man. But I got a PhD in herding cats. I'm pretty good at it. So, but yeah, it's really exciting, man. What else you want to know, man?
Well, that's really it is very exciting, and as we were saying off camera, that it's, people have been saying for the last 5 years to get out your popcorn and watch the show. And I'm like, I'm not sitting on the couch with my popcorn and watching the show, although I might do that on the 19th, whatever that's all about. Um, and so here's another question, because really what I brought you in is to ask about crypto, ask you about XRP, ask you about blockchain. Although I have a blockchain expert that I'm going to be interviewing because I'm like, what is blockchain and what's the big deal? And then how do we protect our wallets? Because I know that there are a lot of people who have run into
Great question.
crypto scams.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. If you do buy the XRP, what's the best way to keep it safe, and what's the best way to protect it? Because there are a lot of scammers out there, and I get notifications on my cell phone that says watch out for X scam, because the scammers are everywhere.
Yeah. Let
And
me
then
start by answering that this way. The thieves out there, the digital thieves, and some of them are very, very clever, and a lot of them are as stupid as a box of rocks, and you could see them coming from miles away. Uh, they're getting more sophisticated. There's going to be a new genre, if you will, of thieves coming that are very, very clever, and unfortunately, we may have just witnessed somebody today get scammed by somebody they know. Okay, because they took advantage of the fact that this person is elderly. Oh no, somebody bought the XRP for me. I said, "Do you have it? Is it on your wallet?" No, but I know this person for a long time. Trust nobody. There's a documentary on YouTube. Not on YouTube. I'm sorry. It's on Netflix. That's called "Trust No One." Okay, go watch that. Okay, so you got these thieves all over the world. Digital thieves are very good with the computer. A lot of them, and they got wind that there's about 900 quadrillion dollars getting ready to move, and that number might be exaggerated. I'm just playing it out so that it gets you to think, right? 900 quadrillion dollars getting ready to move to this digital world, this new world that we're creating of digital currency. And if you don't think they're going to try to steal some of it, you be crazy. Okay, they're going to come out of the woodwork. I got 200, 250 that we know of. There could be a lot more. Mel Carmine's out there. As a matter of fact, it's funny. I'm doing a live space on X.com, and who comes into my room? Somebody with the name Mel Carmine with my logo, which I immediately invited to speak. I said, we got a scammer in the room. Here he is, imitating Mel. He's got the cojones to come into my room. I wish we had a button. I could like zap him with 72,000 volts of, Wouldn't that be nice? But anyway, long story short, they're coming out of everywhere. They're cloning me, and I'm a nobody. They're cloning ledger.com, and they're a big deal. They're cloning all these websites that sell digital, not digital, but hardware wallets. Why? Because they're trying to steal your money. So what they do, I'm going to educate you here, and it's free of charge. It's information that is priceless if you listen. If you go to the links that we provide, your chances of getting hurt is zero. If you hang out in our Telegram group and you ask questions, simple questions, and the Patriots will answer you and the administrators will answer you, your chances of getting hurt is zero. There have been millions of dollars stolen in my name, and it's not me. It's all these people out there. And people that know me, they know who I am. So with that said, not your crypto, not your wallet, not your crypto, right? So
Right.
you click on the wrong link. You go buy your XRP wherever you buy it from. You put it on your wallet, thinking you put your money on your wallet, only to find out you go to your wallet and there's no more XRP. And then you call me and say, "Hey, what happened?" What happened is you clicked on the wrong link. You got your wallet from a hacker that has a exactly perfect clone website where as soon as you click on it, it switches to the whatever their domain is, and there might be a little thing that you can't even catch, and you won't. Okay, that's slightly different. And now you bought a wallet that was purchased by the hacker from the original, right? And they unwrap it, they reprogram it, they rewrap it, and you can't tell. You listen to what I'm telling you? You can't tell. And when you go to put your money onto that wallet, you're screwed, because I don't know how they do it, but they get some kind of signal, some kind of message sent to them saying, and they got more, tools and skills and whatever, and you're never going to get that money. They're going to take your money. And it's happened a gazillion times. And it's going to continue to happen a gazillion times unless you join our Telegram groups down below and you ask questions. We want you to become an ask hole, not an asshole, but an ask hole. Ask questions and you won't get hurt. If something smells suspicious, it probably is. If it smells and walks and like a duck, it probably is. If it smells like a scam, it probably is. And just by hanging out on our Telegram group, priceless. We don't charge you anything. You can ask as many questions as you want. And people say, yeah, don't do that. That's a scam. Simple, right? And then you don't do that and you just save yourself potentially tens of thousands of dollars. And if that money that you invested becomes tens of millions of dollars, which is generational wealth, we've saved you a major headache. These are just simple, basic, common sense rules. Unfortunately, people are so eager to get going that they think that they got this, and they don't. And they allow their arrogance to get in the way, and they get hurt. And this happened a lot. It really happens a lot, and it's a shame.
Yeah, and their excitement. So it's really interesting when you say about the scammers. So, and I'm a nobody. I'm less of a, but I think once you have any kind of an influencer, there are people out there who are going to try to pretend to be you. And I did have scenarios on Telegram where there were people who created Telegram profiles using my logo, my photo, my name, and the only difference was they added like an extra R. But it's because the way the human mind works, we like will cut out those extra things. And there were some of my followers that bought into the scam. And I went back to them. I said, look, I don't sell crypto. I don't promote crypto. If you get a message from me saying to buy crypto, it is not me. It's a
Right, right.
scam. I
Exactly.
ran into that on Facebook Messenger. There were people on Facebook Messenger. There was one person who came in on Facebook Messenger pretending to be Laura Eisenhower with you got to the GCR is happening tomorrow. This is where you need to
Oh,
go.
yeah, yeah.
And it was the
No,
craziest
no.
thing. And so I happen to know her personally. I text her, I was like, hey, Laura, I'm getting this right. And then
She's going to be at the Quantum Summit, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see
yeah,
her again.
yeah,
So I've spoken at several events with her, and so it'll be nice to see her again in person.
yeah.
And so it was really interesting. This is why people need to be really, really careful. One of the biggest clues I found when it comes to a scam of any kind is the sense of urgency. If they're pushing you with a sense of urgency, you got to do it now and give me a call and you got to do it now. That's like a major red flag for me is you got to do it now, 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 now. Did you log in? Did you move your money? Did you, yeah, and that those of us
I
who
hope you
are,
guys are listening.
yeah, and we're like, you know what? Tune in, get your guidance, see if this is what's best for you. That's the difference. So make sure if someone is reaching out to you and trying to get you to buy whatever
Yeah.
the scam is, if there's a crazy sense of urgency that comes with it, if not even necessarily with the crypto, but with other things in general. There was a, my daughter was getting scammed with her credit card on like TikTok or whatever. It was like, don't like listen for that sense of urgency. If they're almost panicking sense of urgency, it's more than likely a scam. So just
Yeah.
heads up about that.
Well, how many times have I said to people, go to QFS 1776.com, QFS 1776.com. Click on the black little banner that says ledger. It takes you directly to the manufacturer and you're not in trouble. But Mel, you're going to make $4.22. Forget that. I'm not here to sell ledgers. I couldn't give a shit about $4.22. I'm trying to protect you. Okay. And if clicking on the right banner, because it doesn't matter if you got the right address or you got the wrong address, if you buy from the right address on your own, okay, wonderful, great, wonderful. You're going to get the same price as if you sell it, if you buy it directly from our banner. We're here supporting you. We're giving you all this knowledge. We're giving you all this education free of charge. Do we deserve to make $4.22 here and $6.29 there? Absolutely, we do. So if you got that kind of mentality, you're not a fan. You're not the kind of guy we want here. We're trying to help you out as this major transition is happening, and you can't stop it. You can't say, you know what? I'm going to stay in a three-dimensional world. Ain't happening, baby. Not happening.
Certainly not with the people that we associate with.
No.
So one more question for you when it comes to protecting your crypto assets. What would you say about, I know that you and I are both involved with Legal Shield and ID Shields. And I
Yes.
understand that ID Shield helps also protect your crypto wallets. Do you
That is
do that?
unbelievable. Let's close on this. And this is a great way. Is I think I've created. So I don't want to call it a sales pitch because it's really not a sales pitch. We have fallen asleep in the getaway car for 75 years, only to wake up to a new world order scenario nightmare on steroids that everybody knows something's wrong. Even the normies realize, oh my God, something's wrong, right? The inflation, everything's out of control. The safe and effective wasn't so safe and effective. The chemtrails, the pesticides have been speeded up because the safe and effective didn't work fast enough, on and on and on, right? Now, right, the taxes, the illegal taxes, etc. Now we're gonna just say, you know what? We trust Donald Trump. Yeah, we know that his son's coming after Donald Trump, and then the daughter's coming. It's okay. We just gonna leave it. No, screw me. What is that? How's that saying goes? You screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. Right?
Yep.
Leaving things to chance is just pure stupidity. Yes. Do I feel that Donald Trump is going to have everything perfect? Yes. Do I think Donald Trump is a god? No. Do I think that Donald Trump can fail? Yes. Do I think he will fail? No. Do I think that, you know, everything's going to be great for 1,000 years? Yes. But do I want to leave what I've worked so hard to get to? I'm going to become a billionaire most likely if everything plays out the way it's supposed to be playing out. And it doesn't mean nothing because the excitement's going to last over about maybe 3 days. After that, you're gonna wear yourself out, and life is going to be same as usual. Nothing changes. Okay, you might not have to go to work. You might not have that stress goes away. You might hang out in bed with your wife and have wild sex for the next 6 months. Wonderful. Okay, but the reality is life's really not going to change. As a matter of fact, for some of you, it's going to become more stressful because everybody's going to know who you are, like me, and they're going to probably send me letters. My daughter's dying from cancer. Like if I give them, $20 million, the cancer is going to go away. So don't get caught into these scams and don't give your money away to just any, idiot that drinks tequila on the weekends and watches girls dancing in the pole half naked. That's not who you want to give your money to. We want to become humanitarian, but we also want to be smart with our money. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you in essence is, I don't know what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you to be smart. Okay. And don't leave anything to chance. And yeah, Legal Shield, my links is down below. You can call Frank. Frank's number is down below as well because he handles my account. Okay. Don't leave nothing to chance. Yeah, you don't think right now that Victoria, there are maybe a bunch of guys in some back rooms or some ivy tower somewhere, bad guys who are trying to strategize on how they can come back maybe 50 years from now, 100 years from now? Yeah. Donald Trump is about to give you life extension technology, clean air, clean food, super organic food. He wants you to live long, prosperous lives, but he can still mess up. He's a human being.
Mhm.
Okay. So I say for $3 a day or $2.29 a day or two, whatever plan you choose that fits you. If you have a gun, you got to plan for that. If you got, all these different plans. If you got a lot of cryptocurrency, you got to plan for that. If you want to put everything in a trust, so in case some kind of tax man of the future comes back 100 years from now when we have 1,000-year lifespan, which I plan on having one, right? Comes back and says, hey, you owe us all this money. Say, no, no, no. I have a trust, dude. Now get off my property. Isn't that worth $3 a day? Peace of mind, isn't that worth it? Blows my mind how people say, Mel, you're just trying to make money off of us. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. But anyway, but yeah, it does come with a business opportunity, by the way. For people who want to maybe own a little more XRP and want to do a little bit of more grinding and tell a few people about a great service like this, yeah, you can make, 15, 20,000 a month, not an income guarantee. That's for people who are ball busters, people who don't mind to grind, people who like to make money. Yeah, there's an incredible business opportunity. The beautiful thing is the company itself doesn't understand what's about to hit them, because now this thing's going through social media and through the podcasters who have a broad reach. We're the new media, whether you like to believe that or not. We are. And so because of that, the company's going to experience tremendous growth. They're still doing 1980, make a list of 10 of your friends and call them and bug them. We don't do that. We come on the airwaves. We got 200,000 people listening to us. We make some shit happen. You know what I mean? And if you work with us, we'll throw some people underneath you. If we see that you work, we'll put some people underneath you. We'll reward you and we'll help you build a business. And if you could own some more XRP because Legal Shield provided that opportunity for you, is it a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. Thank
I
you.
agree. Yeah, absolutely. And it is a service to humanity that I've looked at a lot of these other kinds of referral-based businesses. I don't do MLM, so if people are like, oh, it's not like MLM.
Yeah.
It's a referral-based insurance product, and everybody needs it, especially with all the ID theft that's going on, the credit card theft, the scams. Everybody needs it. That the ID protection part of it, and then the legal protection part of it. They write your will, and they'll create a family trust for you. And so for me, and I actually have a family trust, so I can speak from experience. When I created my family trust and my will about 5, 6 years ago, it was over $5,000.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been divorced, and I need to go back and update my family trust and update my will. And I'm looking at, oh my gosh, it's going to cost thousands of dollars again to go back to this attorney. But with Legal Shield, it's included in the membership.
Exactly.
So right there, it saves me thousands and thousands of dollars to have that service. Even like with the travel, I've been traveling all, last couple of weeks doing all these mainstream media appearances because I want to bring a higher consciousness out to the mainstream. And so I have had the honor of being on a lot of TV appearances.
Mm-hmm.
And what I discovered is that I can actually call Legal Shield and say, hey, I had to spend extra nights in hotels because my flight got canceled, and they will actually handle that for me. So, and they helped me get a refund from a hotel recently as well too, long story, but I needed to get a refund from a hotel for Christmas. And so just having that attorney in the pocket, so to speak, is such a peace of mind that comes with that. And as a business owner, they have small business services. And one of the things I like about that is one of the things that included is trademarking some of your personal trademarks. So I'm going to be taking advantage of that because I have some things I want to trademark.
Yeah.
And so this company's just been phenomenal. And the service and the support that it provides from me is a tremendous service to humanity. And that's why we're having this conversation, because we see how important it is to protect our personal space, to protect our personal assets, protect our businesses. And for a couple of dollars a day, it's like a no-brainer.
It's a joke. It's absolute joke. I mean, you go to Starbucks, a cup of coffee costs you could buy you an entire week's supply of legal shield. You know what I mean? $15 cups of coffee, right?
Yeah.
Think about that, right? Which is crazy. I don't know why people spend $15. It's sort of like, look at me, I'm trendy. I'm spending $15. No, you're getting screwed. You're being screwed. Okay. Anybody who spends $15 on a cup of coffee is not right upstairs. Okay. And I don't support the other side. They're the other side, right? Starbucks, no good. So,
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's funny that you say that because I was someplace and I saw the line at Starbucks and I was like, man, I'd love to invent something like that.
mm,
Something
yeah,
something people are willing to stand in line for a half hour for. I'd love to invent something like that. Something everybody needs. But I'm not an inventor. Uh, so the best I can do is provide services to humanity that I know humanity needs. And I know that's
absolutely.
why you and I are both here.
Yeah.
You doing your show and having your health clinics and me doing my show and doing the trauma reversal and the future readings that I do because all of it is about building building a better earth,
Hmm.
and all of it's about the betterment of humanity. All of this is
Absolutely.
about our commitment to being a beneficial presence on the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah. One thing I will tell you, and I think you'll agree with me, that Trump has no choice at this point, and then we're going to close it with this for sure. Trump has no choice, but there's going to be one more war. But it's not going to be a war against nations. It's going to be a war against the Mexican drug cartel. I think Trump has no choice because you can't have Nisara Jasara and Paradise coexist with fentanyl coming over the border and the cartel bringing cocaine and heroin and all this junk. Okay, he's going to crush MS-13 and all gangs that are related to MS-13 or like MS-13, and he's going to go and unleash the entire full might of the American military on the cartel. This war is going to last 3 weeks at the most. It should last 3 days. Okay. I mean, you have no idea what kind of weaponry we have. And these cartels have no idea what's in it because they have to get rid of all of the mafias of the world in order to allow the manifestation of heaven on earth. You can't have heaven and hell coexist in the same petri dish. It doesn't work.
Right, right. And I know that also includes because these cartels are heavily involved with not just drug trafficking, but human trafficking. And so you take out those people and it puts an end to a lot of the issues that we have in our country.
Yeah. Well, look at how fast he did ISIS when and he had everybody against him, the media, the Russian hookers, Russia, the taxes, all the noise, all the nonsense. Think about that. If everybody was with him instead of against him, how much more he would have been able to accomplish on term number one. Obviously,
Yeah.
he would have gotten reelected on 2020, right? And it would have been all over. But hey, had it happened this way because we had to wake up everybody. I just wish that he was a little younger, but Bertie told me that he's got this technology that lives here at Cape Canaveral, stayingalive.com with two E's at the end. Staying alive with two E's at the end. He's got that same technology sitting around his bed. You know why we know that? Because Marla Maples goes to the centers all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
And that would explain why he is in the condition that he's in contrast to the other person who is leaving.
I live in the system every night. I sleep there 12 hours. I'm there. I'm in the system 12 hours. I feel amazing. Look at my brain. My brain works. It's firing on all cylinders at record speed, man. Nobody can keep up with me.
That's
You know?
fantastic.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Anyway, thank you for having me. I look forward to having you at the Quantum Summit. I look forward for you to doing one show. And hey, if you feel like, you want to do 2 shows a week because you're getting addicted, by all means, do so. Okay. She is going to be there. She's going to be fantastic. And the whole thing's going to be fantastic. And we'll see you guys there. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for being here.
The upcoming Quantum Summit represents a convergence of advanced scientific, technological, and socioeconomic paradigms